So basically what we're doing right now is we're going to Weebly.com, Weebly, and
I know the
we're going to just sign up for an account real quick. Okay, Odessa's ready. We just need to have, so while you do that, I'm going to go on. So if you want, you can pull Zoom back up so you can see my screen. So it should, when you make an account, ask you for a site, or it'll say to add a site. So you can do a blog or a store or site, but we're going to do a site today. All right, so basically, so I'm going to press site. So they come up with a bunch of different themes. So I like to use the themes because it's very simple and they can look kind of pretty elegant. So for example, I think this is similar to the Spark Club's theme right here for our website. So you just can kind of look through real quick. You can change the theme later, so it's not like if you choose a theme, you're stuck with it forever and ever. So I'm going to try out this theme. And you can change the color of it too, so you can click the different colors to see which colors you like best. So I like this color because it's, yeah, so you can just try. So I'm going to do this color, and you just click choose. Okay, so then you're going to come up with a name. So, for example, a free one is going to have the subdomain of Weebly.com. So I could call this my amazing website or whatever. And it will tell you if it's taken. So that one's taken. So you could do like my amazing webs or whatever. So you might have to play around with it. So I'm actually going to choose the domain later but you should choose it now. But if you want to change it later, you can go to settings and you can change the site address. And so I'm going to change the title to the site. It's my site right now. So go to settings. So change it from like my site to I love websites or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to use that for now. And when you're done, you're going to go down to, I think it should just automatically, you press the save button on the side of whatever you're doing. So does anyone have any questions on that? Okay, so now it's called I Love Websites. And you can, if you have a logo or whatever, you can replace that with a logo. So then to just change the text there, you can click it. So websites are great, or whatever you want to call it. And you can add a subdomain, just whatever you want. Now what a button can do, so let's say you said click for more info. So you can actually link it to a different page on your site. So you can do a standard page. So let's say you go to About. And so now when someone clicks click for more info, it's going to take them to the About page. Or it could take you to a website URL. So, for example, it could take them to Google if you wanted to do that. Okay, so then remember to always press save. Okay, so here you need to drag in elements. Okay, so to type, you just click the text or whatever. To button, you click on the button, and you put in the button whatever you want it to say, and then you press the button. If you want, when they click the button to go somewhere else, you can click link. So you can take it to a page, so you choose the page, or you can do it to website URL. And you press save when you are, Okay, so you press save when you're done. Okay, is everyone good with that? Okay, so here's a big important part. So if you want to put a title here, you're going to click the title button over here, and you're going to drag it in. So you could say, why I love websites. And I'm just doing something completely random, but your website, you can personalize it to however you like. Then you can drag in text beneath it. But let's say you say, I don't want the, so you can say, again, you just click it and say, yay, websites are awesome, or whatever. And you can make it, ever as long as you need it to be. And you can also, like most things, play with the fonts. So you can make it bigger or smaller. You can, and make sure you have it highlighted, and then you can change the color. So, let's say I want this to be this purple or violet type color. You can make it bold, italicized. You can, make it be numbered or not. So it's just, that's pretty easy to figure out. You just have to play with the different website fonts. So let's say you don't want the text right under here. So one easy, kind of lazy way you could do it is you can just go kind of press, so the way, like, you can go here and you can just press enter. But the better way to do it is you press the spacer. So that's under structure. So do you see this kind of, this little toolbox, I'm going to call it, on the left? And so if you press spacer, you're going to drag it in right under your website. And you can kind of make the space, so you can just move where you want the spacer. I believe you can grab this blue and make it a big space if you want, or a littler space. So the spacer, you see the dotted lines kind of outlining it. It won't be there on the actual website. So there's a lot of different things you can add to your website. So they have a YouTube video. So let's say there's a video about your website or whatever. Then you can upload a video, and it'll give more detailed instructions in that video if you want to watch that later. And whenever you want to delete something, there on the top right corner, there's a little X, and then it'll say, are you sure you want to delete it? And you just press delete. And that takes care of that. Now, there's certain cool things, but they have little stars by it. That means you have to be a member, so you have to sign up, and it's kind of expensive. So don't worry about the star stuff. Just know that you can't do it. So almost anything with a little star, like for example a footer, it doesn't have a star, but I believe for the footer, if I click to add it, it would pop up this thing saying, hey, you need to get a membership. Do you want a membership? And it's kind of, you don't really need it. I mean, you get a couple extra features, so just don't worry about that stuff. There's a lot of interesting things. So you, of course, can add an image. To upload an image, you just double click it. So you can search what they have. So for example, let's say you want to search a smiley face or whatever. So you can search smile, and it'll load. And they usually will sell you pictures, but they're like $5 a picture. And so you're just going to click free. So I'm not going to wait for that to load because it's not important. You can also, if you have like a file opened up, so I don't really have pictures on here that much, but you can just drag a picture in like so. Or you can just double click to upload a file, and it'll take you there. And again, if you don't, now let's say you want like that to not take up the whole space. You want another picture to the side. So you're just going to drag it to the side, and it'll just pop in. And then you upload another image. There's also a slideshow where you can upload several images and make it into a slideshow. They have a, so they have a poll. They have RSVP forum, their feed reader. So there's feed reader is more for like a blog. If you had a blog, then you'd want the feed reader. So you don't really have to worry about that. But there's lots of cool little elements. So I'm going to go on. So that's how you add stuff in. I'm going to go on to change an image because maybe you don't want this weird picture of clothes or whatever in the background. So you just click edit image, and I'll have a bunch you can choose from, or you can upload your own. The thing is, when you upload your own, it's usually not as clear, and so sometimes that's tricky. So it's good if you can use the images they have, but if not, then just do something different. And then you're going to press save, and there's different options when you save. So you can save to selected pages, or you can, I just like to say save to only this page because I like it when there's different pictures for different pages, but that's just my opinion, of course. So you can just flip through your pages on the top and, you know, drag in elements and edit it as you choose. So now I'm going to go to the pages. Okay, so this is my home page. So right now it's got a landing page layout. Now what about my about page? It has a short header, but what if I don't want it to have like a picture or a header? So I could click no header. I could do tall header. So tall header will have a, you know, a taller picture, but a short header will just have a little skinny strip. No header will have no header. So a splash page is kind of interesting. It's like everything is just on this little box in the middle. It looks kind of cool. Also, if you have a test page, so let's say you want to call standard. So we're going to click standard page. So by the way, when you add a page, they have store page, blog page, standard page. That's what it's important. And so a blog page, you could like have a blog on your website basically. So anyways, I press standard page. So I'll just show you how. So you can press like test, but you can hide the page in navigation menu. So people can't really get to it unless they have the link. I believe password protecting, that's a member thing, so unfortunately you can't password protect pages. So I'm going to go to save and edit. So this is like the splash page. It looks kind of different. So as you can see, it's only here in the middle where all the stuff is instead of like things on the sides. So that's how a splash page works. However, when I'm going to go to build, so build is to get to your main website thing, right? So I'm going to go home. You can't really get, once you go to the home, you can't really get back to that test page unless you go to your pages and click test. To copy a page, you just press copy, or to delete it, you press delete. So I'll let you work on your pages. Okay, so I think most of us are ready, so I'm going to go on. Yeah, so I'm going to go on. If you're not, if not, then you can just rewatch the video later. Okay, so I'm going to go back to build. So that's just kind of different ways. So does anyone have any questions about how the different toolboxes work? Okay, so it's pretty simple. Making a really cool website is not that hard. So when you're done, you're gonna, so make sure when you're done, go to settings. You're gonna want, so if you didn't choose your domain yet, press change. And then just use whatever you want. I'm not really going to publish this because it's just a random thing I threw together, obviously. And so you can also, there's, I believe, a way. So that's how, basically, kind of the gist of it. And does anyone have any more? Oh yeah, and then, okay, one more thing, sorry. So the design. So you decided, okay, this design is horrible. I really hate it. So you can change the color if you want. Like, okay, I think this green or whatever looks a lot better. Or you can change the fonts. And that kind of has a lot of little things that I'm not going to go into. But just, you know, changing... you know, I can make that bigger. You see the I Love Websites is getting bigger. And you can change the color. So I don't want it, say I didn't want to be green, I can get black, you know, stuff like that. And then they also, so that's just a different, but you can also, the most important thing is you can change your theme. And so you're back to this page where you get to choose from the different themes. And so, and then you can change the background, which is basically just changing the image. So I'm going to cancel. So that is all that's in a box, in a, you know, a nutshell, how to use Weebly and make your own super site. Any questions? Okay, you can stop the recording, Rochelle.